Did y'all hear the story about that woman that couldn't find her son for 2 years? Y'all, her son had been missing for 2 years. Come to find out, the boy was deceased the whole time. So he decided to go out with his friends one night or whatever, and he didn't come back home the next morning. So, like any other parent, the mama, she calling him. She trying to see where he at. He's nowhere to be found. Nowhere, like, she haven't heard from him or nothing. So she reaches out to his friends or whatever. His friends was like, yo, we seen him. We dropped him off at the house or whatever. And she like, nah, y'all couldn't have dropped him off at the house because I waited up late for him to come in and he never came in. So they kept telling her, like, we dropped him off at the house. Like, we don't know where he at, this, that, and the third. So a couple days passed by. She waiting on her son. Her son never shows up to the house. So at this point, she contacts the police and let them know, yes, I need to file a police report, a missing police report or whatever. My son did not come home. Last people he was seen with was his friends. So the police, they make the report or whatever, and they looking for the boy. He's nowhere to be found, y'all. Nowhere to be found. So days go by, days turn into weeks, weeks turn into months, months turn into years, y'all. At this point, it's 2 years since her son has been missing. So she like, what the fuck? She like, how is my son not showing up? Like, how is his, like, you know what I'm saying? 2 years have passed by. And he at this point, I know for a fact he got to be gone. Like, something that happened to my son. So y'all, he had three friends or whatever that he had kicked it with the night that he ended up going missing. So I guess it was one of the friends that, I guess, I don't know, it was bothering him to where he couldn't sleep. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't function throughout the day. Like, the death of his homeboy was really bothering him. So he ended up writing a letter to the mama, telling the mama what happened and what the remains was and all this other stuff. So y'all, at first the letter was anonymous or whatever. She didn't know who had wrote the letter or nothing. She just woke up, saw the letter was taped to her door, and it was basically just telling her where her son was at and all this other stuff. So she goes to the location where they claimed that her son was at. Y'all, why this lady found her son remains in his abandoned house? So at this point, she trying to figure out, she called the police or whatever, the police come and pick his remains up and all this stuff like that. So at this point, she trying to figure out who the fuck left that letter on my door. So she goes back to the friends or whatever to like ask the friends, you know what I'm saying, if they knew about a letter that was taped to her door, if to see if any one of them had wrote it. So the first dude, like I said, it was three dudes that was with him or whatever the night that he had disappeared, y'all. So the dude that she went to first, he was like the oldest in the group. He was the oldest out of all three of them. And she asked him about the letter or whatever, and he knew that one of the dudes in the group or whatever had wrote the letter. Tell me why this dude went and unalived the dude that wrote the letter to the mama. Like, he knew which friend had wrote the letter to his mama, and he went and unalived him because he felt like, oh, you trying to snitch, you trying to give us up, this, that, and the third. And he went for to go to jail for him snitching or feeling, guilty about what he did, about what they did. So, y'all, he unalives the boy. But before he unalives the boy went on and confessed to his mama and told his mama everything. Now, his mama told him not to speak to the woman that lost her son, not to tell her about it, nothing like that, just keep it a secret. Because at this point, 2 years done passed and the police ain't made no arrest. So she feeling like her son is in the clear. But the whole time, her son was not functioning throughout the day like he's supposed to because his conscience was eating his ass up. So when he came up unalived by the dude that was telling them, like drilling them not to snitch, not to tell nobody, the mama automatically knew that one of the dudes that he had did the crime with ended up unaliving him because the dude that passed away told his mama that he wrote a letter to his mama before he went and put the letter on her desk or whatever. I mean, on her door, that he was going to tell the woman because it had been bothering him and this is not right, this and the third. If he have to go to jail for what he did, then, that's just what it is. But like I said, y'all, he never put his name on the letter. So I guess he was going to leave it to the mama to figure out, who wrote the letter or whatever. I don't know. But y'all, the friend that unalived the first friend, the one that was like drilling them about not telling the secret, end up unaliving his mama too.